New paint job. Who this? Alright guys, so what's up? Today we're working on a Toyota Corolla. We're going to do a full paint job on it. Nothing too crazy, but 2003 Slam Toyota Corolla, full paint job. Let's get right into it. Anything I didn't show you guys because it's honestly not too interesting. I just sanded down the whole car. I put some tape where I needed to so that way I wouldn't scratch up the tail lights, and I was careful for the headlights and different stuff like that. So now that it's all sanded down, I did a little bodywork to bodywork that we had pre-discussed, the bodywork that he wanted to get done. To be honest, there's still some dents somewhere else, but he didn't want to pay to go through with all the dents, and I told him that there was going to be some more dents than what we had discussed, and he was fine with that. I honestly don't like doing something like that, but I got to do what the customers want to pay for. So at this point, I'm going to tape the whole car off and then I'm going to prime it. So let's go into that. Alright guys, so at this point I got the car completely masked off. We're going to be ready to go. This is just a quick spray. Want to get it done, one and done, turn and burn. Here we go, let's spray that primer. Alrighty, so the primer laid out fine and dandy. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna lay down fine and dandy. So I'll pick back up in the morning and that'll really just be in a couple seconds. So here's that. What is up guys, it is day 2 on the Slam Toyota Corolla paint job. My goal for today is I want to sand down that primer. I want to finish with an 800 grit. So if I didn't lay down the primer as smoothly as I would have liked, as I think I laid it down, I might have to start with a 600 to break it down a little more and then finish with an 800 grit before I do that base coat. So that's my plan for today. It's a little foggy at the shop now, but it's pretty cool. I like a little difference now and then. It spices it up. But anyways, if I can get it sanded down, get that base coat laid down and the clear on top by the end of today, I'll be in really good shape. Alright, so I just finished sanding with my 800. It took a little while, took a little longer than I expected, but we're still in pretty good shape to be able to spray today. So now the car is ready to go. I wiped it off, then I wiped it again, and you know how it goes. You got to make sure it's super clean, ready to go. Let's spray that base coat. Guys, so here's what we're looking at after 2 coats of base. What we really want to focus on and really make sure of is that the base looks consistent. It's gonna look flat. So one thing that I had to do just on the roof, and it's because I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, it may happen to you. So I got a little dry spray on the roof. It takes me a minute honestly to get back into the swing of things, and I start on the roof, and that's really where some of my errors happen because like I said, I'm getting the hang of the gun, getting in the rhythm. So this is after the second coat of base. I just took a little 800 grit sandpaper and I had my little tack cloth, and anywhere that was rough or was the dry spray, I just sanded it a little bit, wiped it with my tack cloth. Now I'm gonna go ahead with a 3rd coat of base. It'll be just fine, and then I'm gonna go for clear coat. Alright, so I just laid down that third coat of clear. I can't complain about anything. I mean, there's a couple fuzzy spots, but I'm gonna wet sand that out and buff it. Some areas need a little more attention than others, but that's how it happens when there's a car where you come back around. For example, I started on the roof, and then by the time I came around on the other side, a little dry spray got on the roof, so I'm just gonna have to wet sand and buff, and that's why we wet sand and buff. And I guarantee you, anybody painting cars coming out with quality is wet sanding and buffing. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I think you should do. So let's get right into that, wet sanding and buffing. Alright guys, so right now we're halfway through day 3. This morning I just wrapped up painting some of the miscellaneous stuff, like I did the wing and the side skirt and the lip, and that all came out just fine. So at this point what I gotta do is I gotta wet sand and buff. In this video, I don't want to slow down the progress that we have on the pace that the Corolla's going as far as the video. I think we're going good. I want to get the car wrapped up and I want to get it beautiful and just get it back to the owner. So if you want to see a little more detailed explanation on how to wet sand and buff, that's just going to be a different video. I'll just put that up right here and that'll link you straight to it. Like I said, if you want to see more how to wet sand and buff rather than just watching the progress. So do whatever you want. I'm gonna get this car set up, so let's just get right into it in this video. It's just gonna be high speed, wet sand and buff, and let's get it done. Alright guys, so we're coming to the end of day 3. We're coming to the end of this project. So what I ended up finishing today is I wet sanded the entire car. I started with 1,000 grit, I went to 1,500, and then I finished off with 2,000 grit sandpaper. Some people say that you gotta go higher than that. I don't believe that you do. I get good results with finishing with 2,000 grit sandpaper. So what I have left to do is I finished up buffing this side with the wool pad and the ultimate compound. I gotta finish up doing that on the entire car, and then I'm gonna follow with the foam pad and the polishing compound, and then I'm gonna wax it by hand. So I'm gonna finish that up tomorrow, get the rest of the car completely cleaned up and ready to go for the client. So by the end of day 4, I should be done and this project should be good to go. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, so coming into day 4, all I had to do was put some of the badges back on, put the license plate back on. I finished wet sanding and buffing, and man, we are good to go. I'm about to call him to have him come pick up the car. So that's it for the Corolla. Thanks so much for watching guys. If you had any questions about the process whatsoever, or you had any questions about what I did, please drop that in the comment section. Now that I'm done with the Corolla, be on the lookout. I'm going to come out with more videos working on the 65 Mustang. I'm also wanting to get some more stuff done on the Ford Ranchero. So all that's going to be on the way. Thanks for joining me and hanging out while I painted this Corolla. I know it was a little change of pace to what I usually have going on, but it's cool. So thanks so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe. You know what it is, YouTube. I'm out!